include, um, such as Egypt, ancient Sumeria,
So what you
um,
think?
the Phoenicians, and etc. That's what I think. That I believe that that's all true. That can be tracked, and that those migration patterns what establishes haplogroups and going from there.
So, do you think that fossil records, particularly in Africa, would support a stronger out of Africa theory, like indicating that Homo sapiens originated in the African continent?
Yeah, I do. I really do. But that's not my strongest thing, so I can't really talk about it. I apologize.
No, that's fine. That's fine. What you think, Kente?
Don't everybody Google foo at the same time, damn it. Come on.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would like to know more about the Albert Perry thing. Every time Troller mentions it, I always forget it when I get off the app. I'll be like, damn, what is that? I'll be like, Albert something. But I am looking it up right now. And I mean, there is a theory called the multi-regional theory that, yeah, like you said, it could have been humans that popped up in different regions of the earth in different times of history. But there's not a lot of evidence of that. It would just be an assumption. There's more evidence that the fossil records go back to Africa, the Horn of Africa, more than anywhere else on the planet. So there's no proof of a multi-regional hypothesis. There's only all we got is fossil records of Africans and migration patterns. There's no evidence of, we like to talk about the African versus American thing. There's no evidence of Negroes being on this side of the planet um, thousands of years ago. You know what I'm saying? There's no
Being
evidence of
on
that
being on
at
which
all
side of the planet? Hold on, wait. Being
in
on which
America.
side of the planet?
Enigma.
That's
No.
false.
There is,
That's
there
false.
is.
There's not.
That
There's no
wait,
fossil
pause,
records of that.
pause. Let me talk, bro. Yes,
Okay,
there
go ahead. Go ahead.
is,
Go ahead.
because the Africans, popular to contrary to popular belief, the Africans were seafaring people, and the indigenous people of Africa did once travel to North America, and there are fossilized records of African skeletons buried right beside Native Americans. So there were other people to come to North America before Christopher Columbus did. And,
Yeah,
and
there's
and that
theories
and
of
that is
that.
a
Yeah, there's
verified.
Africans
No,
that
no, 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 no. It's not a theory. It's a
it's
verified
a
fact.
theory.
It's a verified
It's
fact. No,
not
it's not a
verified.
theory.
It's
It's
not
not a
verified.
theory.
It's not verified, though, bro.
I just said there are skeletons of
And
Africans
that's it is a fact.
and
You
Okay,
got to
don't.
also. I
If
think you
we could
guys only
please
talking
back
about
up.
Yeah,
United States of America, but you
yeah.
said this side of the world, and in Australia you got the Aboriginals. So,
Yeah.
and so with that, if you go do the Aboriginals research on how they got there, there is no migration history for that. You also have the Polynesians; they don't know the migration history for Polynesians, and I'm talking about Samoans. I'm talking about Tongans are darker complected people as well, so, with the same melanation type. So, like when you look global, there is groups of people, different groups of people that have been popping up in recent times, because I think they didn't even know the Samoans even existed until like the 1930s, somewhere around there. Like this is how new this stuff is. It's like you guys are saying things, but a lot of those things are theory. You cannot trace migration patterns for even some of those bones that you're talking about. They don't know where those people migrated from. They just know where they died. So if you have bones that died in Tanzania, Africa, that's cool. How do we know that they came from Tanzania, Africa?
so with
Nobody can tell you
forensic
that.
with forensic research, we can tell just from a skeleton alone what race someone is.
No, they know what race. We all know they were black. That's not even a question. The question is migration patterns. Like so if I say the oldest human bones on the planet were found in Tanzania, Africa, and I found them here, who's to say that that person didn't migrate there when humans
Oh yeah, for
migrated for
sure.
water sources and all that? So this is the problem, like, with those theories. They're all just theories. And then you look at plate tectonics. Before they built the Suez Canal, Asia, Europe, and Africa were the same pretty much continent. Humans made them three different continents. They're not three different spaces even to this day. They're still connected through landmass. So like, and here come the incredible white guy who's naming these continents different names and saying this is this, that, and this, and that's and this, and we're actually going off of it and saying that the original human came from Africa was a whole continent. So
Hmm.
to me, I don't really get caught up in that because to me, it actually doesn't matter where the original human came from, and
It
all of
don't
that
though.
shit is just concepts either way. Because we only found those bones now. That doesn't mean we won't find other bones as well that are older, that predate that. Just when we thought that everybody came from the mitochondrial DNA, here comes Albert Perry with an older Y chromosome that's older than the X chromosome that we've already found, which creates a whole nother opening for another lineage. And I don't think it stops there though. I don't think Albert Perry is where it stops. I only think that Albert Perry is a new find. They don't really know too much about it. They did predate it before that mitochondrial DNA that you're talking about from that X chromosome. So if that's the case, that Y chromosome is older than that S chromosome, we know nothing about that variant right there at all. Nothing. This is a new find. And that's exactly what I keep trying to tell y'all about science. Science is ever evolving, ever changing. The more we test, the more we figure people out. We can start finding more alleles that are out here that might suggest that we have different forms of lineage or different forms of coming to be. I just don't think that there will be a lion in Africa, a tiger in Asia, and then no kind of cat to signify it in America. Where in America we do have a cat, we have the cougar. So why would they have Homo sapiens in Africa, Homo sapiens in Asia, but no Homo sapiens representing a whole side of a planet, a hominid, no hominids at all? That doesn't make any sense to me. So like it has to make sense to me for me to grasp the concept of, Napa is right. Right now it's just a theory, but all of this stuff is still theoretical.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Indeed. Amen. Amen and amen. How are we doing out there in this debate so far, everybody? Are we
Yeah,
holding
I'm
on to
chilling.
our wigs?
I'm winning. I think I have the most points. I'm kidding.
I'm winning. We love that. We love
Hey,
that.
What's
deduct her
going on,
point because
fella?
he really didn't weigh in on the Abla groups like that. Deduct it.
We crying. But that's fine. That's fine. So we definitely have another question on the floor. What are your thoughts about the what are you guys' thoughts about interbreeding with the Homo sapiens and the archaic humans?
Talking about the Neanderthals and the Homo sapiens.
Like like the Neanderthals, yes. What are your thoughts on
All right, all
those?
right.
It definitely happened.
Yeah, yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, that's really why white people still exist for real, for real. If you want to get technical,
We want to get technical. Go deeper. Let's go.
Yo,
Give us that
I'm
evidence.
Ryan, but go
the
ahead.
the Homo sapiens and the Neanderthals, well, really the Homo sapiens that they originated from Africa, and the Homo sapiens would leave Africa and migrate to places like Europe and Asia, and then they would develop certain features that would turn them into Neanderthals. Excuse me. And really, what happened was the Neanderthals were a little bit more bulkier, and like they were shaped differently. They had a tendency to gain weight. However, the Homo sapiens were much faster and had better survival skills, so they could, like, let's say there was a fight with Neanderthals, for example, they would be able to escape Neanderthals a little bit quicker if need be, or maybe they could, be quicker to attack a Neanderthal because a Neanderthal is a little bigger, a little bit more sluggish, or they could be easy, or they could find it easier to get to to a food source quicker than a Neanderthal, right? So there were certain traits that each had that made them better at certain things, but the Neanderthals actually were preying on Homo sapiens and trying to kill them off. But the Neanderthals were just a little slower, and what happened was they actually ended up dying off themselves because they couldn't get to food sources quick enough. Their brains They actually had big brains, but their brains were too big. And really the Homo sapiens were kind of just superior in a lot of ways specifically. And that's kind of the reason the Neanderthals will end up not only dying off, but being forced to interbreed with Homo sapiens.
I feel like that's the reason you got. I know y'all think I'm crazy, but that's why they say got the term human and mankind. I feel like mankind are like other people that got that Neanderthal gene, like white people.
Yeah, exactly. Neanderthals or white. Every European person has a certain amount of Neanderthal mixed in their blood, bro. That's why people use that as like
Every
a racial
European
slur.
person.
Yeah, every European and every Asian, I believe, as well.
That's wild.
Can you support that by
Well,
evidence? Where
I
did
was
you get
told
I
that
think I can.
the
Hold
Hold on.
on.
Africans.
You said you can't support that?
Oh,
I think
oh,
he said he
oh,
can.
he's buffering. I think
Yeah,
he's going to
like
get
the
some
definition
evidence.
of sociology. He'll support it.
Well, I was told black people are the only ones with real hair, and the rest of them got fur. So they're some kind of damn animal.
Oh yeah, that
Do
shit
you
true.
have
Hold on.
Can you support that Genesis with a little bit of evidence? Where did you
right?
just
Where did you
hear
get that?
that?
No, I was just
Because you
speaking
know
in
this.
general. I wasn't trying to prove no point or nothing.
We in a debate
Oh,
right now, love.
I'm about to say, yeah, this is a debate. This is for a prize at the end.
So you see that? Oh, I first want to make note that African populations, they show almost 0 or no percentage of Neanderthal DNA at all. But right here, it is about 1 to 2% in people of European or Asian background. So they have that
Wait.
Neanderthal
Did you say
DNA.
1 or 2%? Can you repeat that? I didn't
They
hear
have
you.
Mm-hmm.
One.
they have
That's not
one.
all though, right?
No. That's the amount of Neanderthal that they have within them.
What the hell? Somebody said all white people.
No. It is just about all because it's saying the amount that they have in them.
Yeah.
Here, read the
But
whole
they
thing.
have less than 1%
But hold on. That
Neanderthal
guy that was
DNA.
just on the guy that was just on the panel, I forget his lesson learned. Isn't he black?
Yep.
He
Yes.
said that he here we go. He just said that he went
Mm-hmm.
to their DNA test and they said that he had 1%
1%.
Neanderthali blood inside of him. And he's
Mm-hmm.
black.
Yes, some Africans have it, but most don't. Like generally speaking, most don't.
But some
Those of
does.
I
European
think
and yes,
some
some do.
people forget
Those of
that it was all
European and
different
Asian
human
ancestry
species
have a
types.
very
It
small
wasn't
but
just
tangible presence of
Neanderthal
this
and
now extinct human lineage. Around
So that would
4% of
make
them
him one in
female.
a billion. Not
But
million,
But
but
most
Neanderthal
billion.
isn't the
Africans,
only
bro.
Neanderthal isn't the only archaic human though. You got Africans that's
yeah,
full of plenty
you
more
got
archaic
different
human DNA, like the
hominids.
A00 gene that come from
Exactly.
Grabology man. You know what I mean? So you
Mm-hmm.
there's no full blooded, like Troller said, there's no full blooded Neanderthal in existence today.
Well,
I
of
think the
course not.
traces that
There are no full
Yeah.
blooded races.
yeah,
Period.
Yeah,
true
but
that. I agree with that.
what
Everybody
he's
mixes
saying
with a
There's
is
little
no
bit
what
of
he's
there's
saying
no
is the
everything.
there's no
Neanderthal
original man. Period.
what he's saying is the Neanderthal is a prehistoric hominid that's gone, right? Black people have other hominids of similar prehistoric history that we have in our bloodlines. You,
Go.
like
Right.
he just said, but you have the pygmies, you have a lot of different people who have these traits and variants within them from older hominids that are no longer in existence. But nobody is a full fledged anything prehistoric. Something like that. That's
Did
the
you
best way
wanna
I can say
did
it.
you wanna hop in there,
the
Sunshine?
the reason why they hi everyone, the reason why they use 1 and 2% is because the 1 and 2% rule, that's why I put a long time ago when lesson learning was in here, is they use the 1 and 2% to tie everything together so no one can say that I'm not, because if you try to say that you're not, like just like with the horn and tail genes, they tried to say black people have 1 to 2% of horn and tail genes, but the truth is that we don't have it, but they will always tie everything in
I
as
never
one and
heard
two
that.
percent They will always tie
Horn and
everything in as
tail.
1 and 2%. That's why they also say we have
I
1 and 2%. And when you do those DNA
What?
tests, they try to say that because they that you have to in order for us to be tied in together. So that's why you will always see the 1 and 2% rule will always be there when you're doing any kind of like genetic testing or whatever.
A horn and tail is
But
crazy
another
though.
thing that's not
Horn
looked
and
at, right,
tail
Horns and
refers
is
tails
that you
to
is
have
horns in
crazy.
the head, the tail on the back. Simple.
another thing is that when we talk about the haploid groups and all of this stuff, there are people who have contested it. Even the person who brought out the whole Eve gene, there's some flaws within it, but I don't want to start throwing that out. But if you go and you start to look deeper, you'll find more information. But the other thing too is when you're looking at haplogroups, you have to also look at the migration patterns of fruits and vegetables, of the foods, of where they're located, where they are originally from. And this is the thing that people do not look at, because if you look at some of the foods are native to America, some foods are native to Africa, some foods are native to Asia, right? So then you have these people who have been eating these different foods for long periods of time, and then eventually it changes and genetics change. And then that's why it can also be associated that these group of people are X, Y, and Z, but things have changed because they're eating certain foods because of the migration of traveling from one place to another and then replanting them and then that, like introducing it into your genetics, into your genes, DNA. That goes even back to the banana population because look where the rainforest is in the world. I'm done.
All right, all right, all right. Anybody else? Anybody else?
I
Mhm.
wanted to say there is different species of humans. However, I feel as though the reason why they all like didn't make it is because somebody has to play the long game here when it comes to the genetic race. And I feel like we was the only ones to beat them out because where the rest of the humans at? They no longer
Yeah,
around.
the
Like where
the
the rest of the
Homo
race at?
sapiens were the only ones that with speed and like they had the tendency to grow kind of taller as well. They were a little faster than Neanderthals. Um, a Neanderthal may be able to like kind of just brutalize them, but if a Homo sapien is a little faster and quicker, they can strike
I don't even think
quicker and stuff
I don't
like
even think
that.
it has anything with speed. I think it has more to do with strategizing. Because you
Nah,
could take something down.
it
Cause
was definitely like physical attributes and stuff that kind of was
It
the
was their
reason why
ability to stand upright. I don't think it had too much to
exactly.
do with speed. I just think they were the
Nah,
first
it was speed
anatomically
though.
correct.
no, I mean
But
Because
people
think
but
about
walking
it,
listen
like
to
every
this.
a lot of those offshoot groups for standing up and walking. It's the fact that in order to survive, you have to adapt, and if you can't adapt with the things that are changing around you, you're not going to survive. So I
Hello.
Yeah.
Did she go out?
Yeah, I think she went up.
Okay. All right. Well,
Oh,
you
she's
back?
right.
Yeah, go
You
ahead,
back?
critical.
Hey Renee.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, I
hey,
was
hey,
just gonna
hey.
say, it was just about what made Homo sapiens sapien superior was he was the first anatomically correct species, meaning he stood upright, he could see further. That would help far as incurring danger, wild animals, like all of it goes to place. You know what I mean?
I'm
I
I'm
mean
telling you, bro,
speed,
that
speed,
speed probably made the
but
biggest
but but
difference, bro.
but what
It
I'm
was that
saying is
see,
the speed from one subhuman to the next human is not going to be that much great to where it would kind of impact a macro evolution change or either a micro evolution. Speed don't have that much to play whether you run 14 miles per hour or